the disaster happened here at 10:37, which we're getting close. Yo 11. So Madman Psycho Putin, he should have been stopped in his tracks when he assassinated Honich. Born and raised in Brooklyn. Of course, Bush, we know he wasn't going to do. We were fucking all psychoed, Fox News, fucking CNN gung-ho on Afghanistan and Iraq going crazy. So, but I think Putin's losing in Ukraine. I'm telling you, he's losing. And I've been in Ukraine, and I have a lot of connections there. I used to have a huge following there, of course. That got kettled in 2017 when Congress passed a law in late 2018 to kill net neutrality. And Trump, I don't know, well, fuck, he'll veto that. He didn't veto it. Yet then he says, oh, what about the shadow banning thing? Fucking, you're going to need to wake up and realize that Obama and Trump are to blame for this war. They were nothing but Trojan horses in the White House. They were a chariot team of Trojan horses. It's disgusting. I bet nobody's gone after Putin harder than I have. Nobody from day one. I equate this a lot to when the United States invaded Vietnam and tried to fight back the Viet Cong. The United States lost that war. The Viet Cong and the Vietnamese had been pummeled by all sides for centuries. Fuck, you name it, had attacked them. And, I mean, they were battle-hardened as it gets. I mean, they know how to fight. I equate it to Afghanistan, when the Russians went in there. Well, Gorbachev. What took down the USSR? The invasion of Afghanistan and Chernobyl. So, what took down the United States? The invasion of Afghanistan, Fukushima. So, this is a psychopath. This is the criminal fucker that he is. And the IAEA and all you pro-nuclears, Putin is set up. Why he took Chernobyl, I'll tell you why he's got Chernobyl. Number one, uranium, plutonium wars, but he's launching his missiles, airstrikes, including to, children's hospitals. Kiev is 50 fucking miles. He's launching miles because he knows they can't launch back. They can't launch missiles back into the nuclear site because they'll blow up. There's much spent fuel. Everybody thinks that there was one reactor there, the one that's famous. There's multiple reactors there. They never show. It's the same with the Big Z. He's in there, Big Z, and he's launching fucking attacks and his missiles from the reactor. He knows they can't fucking launch back at them. He knows they can't. Fuck, you know what kind of fucking plutonium-2... And I want people to understand, plutonium-235, uranium-235 is man-made. It's for bombs. Nuclear reactors should not exist, and if the people that cover up with Fukushima have so much blood on their hands, if the world would have been told Kevin Blanch's narrative, I'm the guy that fucking would have been on this from day one, and I was right the whole time. But their answer was to just fucking kettle me, attack me. If my story and my truth had been fucking let loose, and they wouldn't have fucking squashed and kettled and covered up Fukushima, this wouldn't have happened. I'll tell you why. Because there wouldn't be a Chernobyl. There wouldn't be a Big Z. Nuclear energy would have been gone. 11 years, the fucking world would have freaked the fuck out. But no, the frogs have been boiled nicely. 4,000 days for a United States media to even mention the word. And USA Today could end up in a Fukushima, the sound of nuclear silence. You all act like you don't know. Like the ultimate cancer rig. It's disturbing. I remember I was in fucking Brooklyn, and we had giant protests when he murdered Anna. She was born and raised in Brooklyn. He murdered her in cold blood. I mean, play back the tape. Fuck. Nobody's gone after Putin harder than I have. And or Obama. And I voted for Obama. When you could trick me. Think about Obama. Who was even worse than Trump? And that's saying a lot. I mean, I helped run the peace vigil in front of the White House. I'm there all the time, and fuck. Obama ran on the backs of the world. The United States voted Bush out. Fuck, he won because he claimed to be a peace activist. He'd voted against both wars. Now think about it. You Nobel Prize, you're a peace activist. Who knew my best suit was killing people? Now talk about a passive-aggressive. The passive-aggressive media, the passive-aggressive, don't raise your voice. Who's the most passive-aggressive two politicians in history? Well, modern history. Barack Obama and Vladimir Putin. Trump, I mean, he just talk about a useful fucking idiot. That's Vladimir Lenin. He ain't no Vladimir Lenin. He ain't that guy. He ain't that guy. And I've spent a lot of time in that part of the world. And I know, fuck, what he's doing is fucking so fucking purely fucking evil. So fucking purely fucking evil. I can't believe it. You know, I don't think people realize that Kiev is one of the oldest fucking, most beautiful fucking incredible cities in all of Europe, because Hitler, you know, he didn't take out Krakow, didn't take out, of course, Vienna, and lots of Kiev is how it's withstood the bombardment, but they have been attacked and pummeled in that part of the world. The Russian famine, World War I, the Patriotic War, as the Russians call it, the Patriotic War, Chernobyl, what those people have been through. Oh my fucking God. I knew. I'm like, you don't know shit. I mean, Putin way underestimate those people. I've been there, fuck. And long live them men. Long live them men. Hannah, my mate that I was partners with, that I met in 1989 in the Nevada test site, she died of leukemia. She was born in that city. Fuck, what fighters. What incredible fucking people. She was amazing. I mean, tough, fuck, incredible. Again, I equate it to, couldn't beat him in Afghanistan. Fuck, you had the two world's biggest superpowers try for fucking 30 years. U.S. lost that war too. Those people fucking been fighting their whole lives. I mean, well, their lives, for centuries. Same in Vietnam. We lost that war. Fuck. What does not kill you? I was given too much to live, and the fucking bombard and I've attacked, and their answer is to slander me. All I've done is told the truth and try to save you from you. Long live Ukraine. You know, long live. Doesn't surprise me one iota how they fought back. And the humanitarian crisis is disturbing. You know, grandparents with their grandchildren fleeing fucking. You know how cold it is over there this time of year? Yeah, I've been there in the spring. Those springs are fucking brutal in that part of the world. Brutal. Putin's fucking ruthless. Well, when he assassinated Anna, you know, I mean, what'd she weigh? 110 pounds maybe? You know, that brilliant fucking, when he was afraid of her, he was afraid of her. You know, in broad daylight, she was the best. Well, I mean, the greatest journalist of them all. And the United States didn't do shit. And then when they invaded Crimea, they invaded fucking Ukraine in 2014. Remember when Obama said, if you gas them in Syria, you've crossed the line. They gassed him in Syria. He did nothing. I could tell the story to nausea. I'm in Vienna in 2015. I'm on the train going to Budapest. And it's just me. And on the one car, and there's a guy in there, and he's looks like a farmer. He's a little bit older than me, and he looks like he's just had the living fuck beat out of him. He looks like he's been fucking fighting a young Mike Tyson. And there's a nurse with him, and I start talking to her, and she says, well, I'm a humanitarian group in Austria. We got him in Syria. We're over there, and his family was hiding inside of a basement for a long time, and his wife and children were killed. I said, drone? She says, yeah. And I said, U.S.? And he looked right at me and said, perfect good English, Russian. I was in Budapest, in the train station, right as that started to break out. I got out and I went to Hamburg, and then I went to Copenhagen, and fucking unbelievable. I was in Berlin when a lot of the, people were trying to scramble to get there. I've applied to go to Austria to help on the humanitarian crisis. Now, if they'll take us, I don't know. They're good in Austria. They're really good. Fucking Global 2000, and the Austrians are the best. And the Germans will do their part. The Germans. It's like We're worried about 50 cents more a fucking gallon in gas when these people are fucking crawling through freezing temperatures with their kids, can't get across bridges, can't get on trains, walking across a frozen tundra, freezing to death, starving to fucking death, and we're worried about 50 cents more a fucking gallon because the wars aren't on this soil. Fucking, there's a price to pay. You know, we were off in Afghanistan and Iraq, and what we did over there in the meantime, madman fucking Putin, we just let run amok. And anybody that supports that fucker, talk about a litmus test. I never supported him. Never. Play back the tape. Nobody fought harder against Putin than I did. Nobody. So, Fukushima, 11 years. Long live Femen. I did so much for... Remember when we did that? You know, in 2012, I took my shirt off, and that was a girl was in the bone marrow transplant from Kiev. You know, 23 years old, and then they went in naked into Chernobyl, held up their signs, killed by peaceful nuclear energy. We all did that symphony together. We worked together. It was actually my idea, and you know, with our central lines hanging out. She died just a couple days before we did it in the LDSC bone marrow transplant. There beside you, where I used to lay. I will never forget her. I will never forget any of them. You know how many people have died of leukemia post-1986 in Ukraine? What they have been through. Again, fucking the famine. Chernobyl. Fuckers. They're so ruthless and so fucking... I mean, they learned from the U.S. of war crimes. They're setting up their missile launch.